Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Hope all of you are doing well in this crazy time. Today I am going to tell a little bit about some hope to end this pandemic. As the Covid-19 pandemic has drastically affected our lives, our economy and nearly every corner of the globe, antiviral medications are going to be a very important weapon to end this pandemic. Antivirals have proved critical in fighting other infections, and such drugs will be vital in the struggle against the pandemic coronavirus too, despite the ongoing rollout of COVID-19 vaccines, because everyone will not be able to take the vaccine or respond to it. Vaccines may also lose effectiveness as immune protection wanes or viral variants emerge, so continuing development of antivirals is critical. Many repurposed antivirals have shown promise against SARS-CoV-2 in cell and animal studies and are now in clinical trials. Remdesivir, also known as Veklury, is an intravenous nucleotide prodrug or antiviral medication of adenosine analog developed by Gilead Sciences. Remdesivir binds to the viral RNA-dependent RNA polymerase and inhibits viral replication through premature termination of RNA transcription. Remdesivir is administered by intravenous infusion, so it's not as simple as swallowing a pill, and remdesivir doesn't work for all COVID-19 patients. Studies have shown mixed results. It doesn't seem to reduce the risk of death, but it does seem to help people feel better, faster, when it's given early in an illness. The National Institute of Health's COVID-19 treatment guidelines recommend remdesivir for hospitalized COVID-19 patients who need supplemental oxygen. FDA approved remdesivir as an intravenous antiviral drug for use in adult and pediatric patients 12 years of age and older and weighing at least 40 kilograms for the treatment of COVID-19 requiring hospitalization. On December 23, 2021, US FDA granted emergency use authorization for Malnubiravir, which was developed by Merck, based in Kenilworth, New Jersey, and Ridgeback Biotherapeutics in Miami, Florida. Malnubiravir is a broad-spectrum antiviral that is an orally bioavailable isopropyl ester prodrug of the nucleoside analog beta-DNHC. It promotes SARS-CoV-2 mutagenesis by the viral RNA-dependent RNA polymerase via the RNA template. Coronaviruses use RDRP for the replication and transcription of their RNA genome, so RDRP is an important target for the development of antiviral drugs. RDRP uses the active form of Malnubiravir, beta-DNHC triphosphate, as a substrate instead of cytidine triphosphate or uridine triphosphate. When RDRP uses the resulting RNA as a template, NHC directs incorporation of either G or A, leading to mutated RNA products in replicating coronaviruses. On 4th November 2021, UK became the first country to approve Malnubiravir under the brand name Legevrio, but the new analysis shared by the company on November 26 showed treatment with Malnubiravir reduces hospitalization or death by 30%. The drug's efficacy is considerably lower than what was reported in interim analysis in October. Malnubiravir has not been approved but has been authorized for emergency use by FDA to treat mild to moderate COVID-19 in adults with positive results of direct SARS-CoV-2 viral testing and who are at high risk for progression to severe COVID-19, including hospitalization or death, and for whom alternative COVID-19 treatment options authorized by the FDA are not accessible or clinically appropriate. But the negative side effects of Malnubiravir include mutagenicity. Women needed negative pregnancy tests before taking this medication because the medication may cause birth defects and cancer. This medicine turns into NHC, which may have mammalian cell mutagenic potential, so it should include a black box warning to emphasize the potential danger of using this drug at suboptimal doses or for large numbers of people for preventive purposes. Another one is Visor's antiviral Paxlavit. Paxlavit is a SARS-CoV-2 protease inhibitor antiviral therapy that blocks the SARS-CoV-2 3CL protease, an enzyme that is required by the virus to replicate. Basically, Paxlavit inhibits viral replication during proteolysis, which occurs before viral RNA replication. Most importantly, it has shown no signs of mutagenic DNA interactions. Paxlavit contains nirmatrelvir, which inhibits a SARS-CoV-2 protein to stop the virus from replicating, and ritonavir, which slows down nirmatrelvir's breakdown to help it remain in the body for a longer period of time at higher concentrations. On December 22, 2021, US FDA issued an emergency use authorization for Paxlavit for the treatment of mild to moderate COVID-19 in adults and pediatric patients with positive results of direct SARS-CoV-2 testing and who are at high risk for progression to severe COVID-19, including hospitalization or death. Paxlavit is available by prescription only and should be initiated as soon as possible after diagnosis of COVID-19 and within 5 days of symptom onset. Paxlavit is not authorized for use for longer than 5 consecutive days. Another inexpensive easy-to-take pill is Flusamine, which could be the next weapon against COVID-19. In newly infected COVID-19 patients at high risk of complications, a 10-day course of antidepressant Flusamine cut hospitalization by 2/3 and reduced deaths by 91% in patients who tolerated the medicine. Researchers reported October 27 in the Lancet Global Health. Flusamine is a common prescription medicine for obsessive-compulsive disorder and acts by increasing levels of the brain chemical serotonin between nerve cells. Increasing clinical data suggest that the use of antidepressants such as SSRI and SNRI might be associated with a reduced risk of clinical deterioration in SARS-CoV-2 infected patients. But also, evidence suggests that the use of antidepressants during pregnancy might be associated with the risk of ASD in the offspring. WHO has added Regeneron Pharmaceuticals' antibody drug cocktail of casirivimab and indevimab to the list of therapies for COVID-19 patients. These are 2 monoclonal antibodies that can hinder SARS-CoV-2 infectivity. The WHO family based its recommendation on results from a British clinical trial on 9,000 subjects in June. The study showed that the antibody cocktail lowered mortality in hospitalized patients whose own immune systems had failed to induce a response. New data on Regeneron's antibody cocktail comes from a study that enrolled more than 1,500 people who lived in the same house with someone who had tested positive for the virus within the previous 4 days. Those who got an injection of Regeneron's drug were 81% less likely to get sick with COVID-19 in a late-stage trial in the 2 to 8 months period following the drug's administration compared to volunteers who got a placebo. The combo therapy RegenCov was authorized in November for emergency use to treat people with mild to moderate COVID-19 in the United States. RegenCov protected household contacts from exposure to SARS-CoV-2 with 72% protection against symptomatic infections in the first week and 93% after that, according to the trial data released by the company in April. The FDA has authorized a lower dose of Regeneron's antibody cocktail to treat COVID-19, which the company said may help more patients to access the treatment. In an updated emergency use authorization, the FDA lowered the dose to 1200 mg, which is half the dose that was authorized under the original EUA issued in November. Another monoclonal antibody cocktail is AstraZeneca's Evishield, a long-acting antibody combination that has received emergency use authorization from FDA in US for the pre-exposure prophylaxis of COVID-19 in adults and adolescents with moderate to severe immune compromise due to a medical condition or immunosuppressive medications and who may not mount an adequate immune response to COVID-19 vaccinations. Evishield is a combination of two long-acting antibodies, tixagevimab and cilgavimab, derived from B cells donated by convalescent patients after SARS-CoV-2 infection. It is discovered by Vanderbilt University Medical Center and licensed to AstraZeneca in June 2020. The dual monoclonal antibodies in Evishield are laboratory-made proteins that mimic the immune system's ability to fight viruses and other pathogens. Tixagevimab and cilgavimab are long-acting antibodies that attack the spike protein of SARS-CoV-2, blocking the virus's entry into human cells. Evishield is engineered to be long-acting, meaning the body metabolizes it more slowly so that it can stay active for months. That is expected to offer longer-lasting protection, perhaps for half a year, compared to the monoclonal antibody treatments that are given to high-risk people already sick with COVID. Another possible weapon against COVID is sotrovimab, sold under the brand name Zevady. It is a human neutralizing monoclonal antibody developed by GlaxoSmithKline and Vir Biotechnology. It is an FDA-authorized investigational single-dose intravenous infusion SARS-CoV-2 monoclonal antibody. Sotrovimab can be used for the treatment of mild to moderate COVID-19 in adults and pediatric patients 12 years of age and older, weighing at least 40 kg, with positive test results for COVID-19 and who are at high risk for progression to severe COVID-19. Sotrovimab is a monoclonal antibody that is specifically directed against the spike protein of SARS-CoV-2 and is designed to block the virus's attachment and entry into human cells. The path that SARS-CoV-2 might take to become an endemic virus is challenging to predict, but society does have some control over it. Pandemics tend to last 2 to 3 plus years, but science could speed up that curve today, and as is being widely reported, the Omicron variant that causes milder infections could be a sign of the beginning of the end. With continued increases in COVID-19 vaccination, the use in many countries of a third vaccine dose, and high levels of infection-acquired immunity or immune population, global levels of SARS-CoV-2 immunity is expected to be at an all-time high within a short period of time. After staying with the pandemic for 2 years, this is our best hope to end it. Thank you for watching. See you next time.